Hi there, I'm Janelle Lawrence, the Urban Teacher, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I am trying something new. I am going to give a tutorial of how to use All-in Learning, which is a data gathering system. You'll see more when I look at it. So All-in Learning, I use it when I'm doing assessments, so I can analyze assessments quickly. You can use it with bubble sheets. You can use it with these clickers so that you can get on-the-spot data. So in this video, we're just going to focus on how to set up your planned assessments with All-in Learning. So this is not for on the fly this is not for on the fly data. This is how you actually set up assessments that you were planning. This is how you do it. So first things first, let's log into All-in Learning. My district pays for it, so that's why I have it. And because they pay for it, all the student information is pre-populated in it. Love it for that. So we're gonna go teacher login. I'm gonna log in with Clever because that's how my district gets into the certain apps. Let's continue. So if you explore All-in Learning, there's so much you can do with it. You can look at social emotional check-ins. You have all your reports. You can do on-the-fly assessments. But today we're looking at how to create your own assessments. Or not how to create it. You're not going to create your assessments here. What you're going to do is your answer sheets. And then you're going to use that to help you with your assessments. So the first things first is to go to create new right here in the top right-hand corner. And I guess there's multiple ways you can do it, but this is how I do it. I use assessment key, and I'm going to put demo assessment. Then I'm going to put grade 6, so that's what I teach, and I teach social studies. And then you need to add this, so I'm going to put demo, and the language is English. Now, here's where you begin to think, what kind of exam are you doing? Actually, again, you're not thinking because you should already have this typed up somewhere. You're just playing the answer key. So here I have multiple choice for my test. I'm going to have 15 in all. And I can have a 12 option multiple choice. I have 2. But honestly, it's 4, and 4 is the default. I'm going to have 15 multiple choice questions in all. So this is how you put what the correct answer is, and All-in Learning will just keep it. As you can see, we're on number 12, so here. So that's 15 in all. Then I'm actually going to have a reading assignment where they have to write a little, and I want that to be worth 4 points. And we're going to use the sliding scale. So I want to grade it right in All-in Learning. I can use the sliding scale. When I say grade, I mean I want to get the data. I wouldn't use any of this as my grade because unless you're going to be like 10 out of 15 is 80%. Yeah, I think so. And then you're going to grade it like that. But for me, I grade on like levels. So maybe anything on the 9, 10 or 15. I don't know, but I have like some kind of system in place. Yeah, 15 times 4 is 100. No, it's not. That's I'm like, what? Whatever 10 out of 15 is not. Now I feel stupid. 66%. I knew it was that. So yes, I wouldn't be like 10 out of 15 is 66%. Okay, so this is where you put in your data. These are the points you're awarding. I wouldn't grade directly out of this because let's continue. I have 15 questions. This is 16. This is going to be worth 4 points. Then I want to have 4 more multiple choices. All right, so 20 questions in all. These are where I'm tracking data. I wouldn't necessarily use this where I put points, especially if you're in a school where 55 is the lowest point you can give. So then it makes it, you have to kind of curve or come up with a way to weight your stuff. So I would do that separate. I will also not give, if I'm doing a short response, it's not worth, oh, that's worth 4 points and the multiple choice is 1. I'll do my sections different. So 1 through 15, That's its own section. And you can get 100 out of that. Then the second section, where it's just the short response or whatever it is, that's its own. And then the next multiple choice is its own. Like, that's how I would grade it. So I wouldn't use this for the grades. What I'm using this for is data. So now that you have everything and you feel like these are correct, you can always go back, and if you feel like your number is wrong, you see, you can change it. You can edit it right here. But if you press save, then what happened? Then you see this and you see how much they're weighted. Again, you can change and you can edit the weight, but I wouldn't even waste my time because you're not gonna, I wouldn't use this as a grade. I personally wouldn't use that as a grade. But if you can come up with your own formula and know how everything is weighted, if you do that kind of assessment, you can do that. But I wouldn't waste my time. You can continue adding question, or you can audio, didn't know that. And you can just print the key if you want to give it to someone. What I want to do is add standards. So I am doing 6th grade social studies for New York State. So that's why it says New York. And I'm going to click framework for the standards. And it was, I guess, from 2014. And I'll go to 6th grade standards. Then I will go, and I'm only doing unit 1 right now. So these are the standards I'm using. I don't want to use any sub standards, but I use this, the standard one, and the first sub. So these are my options for standards. You can add it to each, and like you can go in one by one and do the standards. But I honestly feel like the best way to do it is just to add it to all questions and then go in and delete what is not. So question 1 is just 6.1a. So I'll delete the ones I don't want, because I feel like to go through the whole path and do it over and over is, this way is easier. To go through the whole path and like takes up more time. You have to remember the path as well. All right. And I'll go through it and do it for all of my questions, which I did. Now, here's where I actually gets interesting. So number 16 wasn't one of these social studies standards at all. What it was a next generation learning standard. So the one from next generation 2017. And you can see for social studies. Now, if you're a math teacher, any teacher looking at this, you can find the math standards, but this is just basically what we did. And again, I'm going to do apply all to all, and then I can go back and delete which ones is not for. So it's not for that. It's for 16, 17, and 18. I just didn't want to go in and do it one by one. This, again, I think this is quicker. All right. Once everything is done, it auto saves, but you have to go to like the next one. So yes, and I switch, it saves. Now, if you feel like if you did it wrong, you can always edit, and you can quickly do your stuff here. Click out, yeah, and it automatically saves. Now, why is this so important? When you do the assessment now, there's multiple ways you can grade this. So you will activate your stuff, and if you had printed the scanned bubble sheets, you can use that. How do you get your scanned bubble sheets? You go to classes, and you go to classes, and it has student roster. You can do print, and you can print your bubble sheets. I only have 15 questions, but the smallest bubble sheet I can do is 20. Print it, and then if you wanted to make sure it's a 4-part multiple choice, but first you have to select the kids. Then press print. I do 20 because I've never given 140 or 40 questions. I do 20. Primary 3-part multiple choice, so it'll look like that. Cancel. I don't actually want to print it, but I would normally do this. And it will print each bubble sheet. Make sure you print it one by one. The print, and it's unique to the student. It has their student ID number and everything in it. So you can get and the way you work it is then you just use it on a computer. Make sure your camera is activated, or even your phone. or tablet, and you just hold it up and you see there was like a barcode, not a barcode, a scan, they call it QR code. You hold it up, and it does it pretty fast. I think the phone does it a little bit faster than the computer in my thing. So for this assessment, the first assessment I did with my kids, I never actually went in and printed out their bubble sheets. So what I actually did was I did it manually. So if you're just flipping through the workbook and they were circling and you didn't do a bubble sheet, you can do it that way. And you can go and you can click on the student. When you click on it, the answers that you see are the correct answers. So you have to click off what's and then click what the student have. And then if you click off and you see, it tells you on the side if it's wrong. If they skip it, it's wrong. See, this one he got right because I'm putting A for everything. If they do 2, let me see, it's wrong, and it will just quickly do it. And this way is good because like sometimes you're doing the Scantron, you can manually override it by looking at it. And then you can give 1 point, 2 point, 3 point, or maximum 4 points. I just clicked, or you can slide. All right, and this is how you grade once you're finished. If you're still grading, you put leave session active, but once you're finished with all of them, you can press end session and it will be green when you're finished, and you can create a report. I don't want to create, actually, let's click. And it's going to ask if you want to create a report. I'm not going to add tracker because I don't want to mess up my data that I have already. So I'm just going to press cancel. One thing I would say is you can only track for one thing. So if you see how I had content standard, and then I also had literacy standard, you can track for one thing. I chose to track for content because that's what I teach, but maybe later on I will track for literacy. As you can see, even though I deleted the assessment, my data was still there. It's a good thing I said, do not keep tracker because it would mess up their data. So what happens is every time you take a test, every time you do some kind of exit ticket, it reevaluates and see if the student is working towards progress, and you can get reports like that. So this is why I love it. When you, let me see if I can show you a report. There's a lot of blurring out I need to do. So like this is one of my students. So you can see this report summary, 70%, these are, you can look at the standards, the scores, that kind of stuff, how many times the standard popped up, stuff like that. You can look at student analysis, item analysis, like you can do standards analysis groups, and actions insight. So there's so much you can do, and you can get the data. And then you have the progress tracker, how many students are working towards proficiency and that kind of stuff from the beginning to the end of the school year. So this is the end of the video. So what we did so far was I introduced all in learning, how to create an assessment key and how to grade it using the Scantrons, as well as just doing it manually. I hope this help you, and I hope you're able to utilize that data better. I hope this helps, and I hope this helps you manage your data and use the information from your data a lot better. All right, thank you. Have a great evening. Bye.